Good evening. Good evening. Not gonna be long, man. I just felt as I needed to tap in, share some information real quick, man. Just kind of let you know what the vibe is over here at Juice Life 1111. You know what our mission is, what the goal is. You know what we're shooting for. You know, one of the things that we're shooting for is to help people live a happy, healthy, holistic lifestyle, right? So, you know, I'm real big on, you know, Genesis 6:3, you know, where God promised man 120 years, you know, so I'm real big on, you know, longevity, right? So in order to hit that longevity, you know, we have to reverse engineer some things. So you want to have a picture of what that health journey looks like, right? So Juice Life 1111, um, I believe, is the fuel that's going to help you get there, right? So we're getting a lot of testimonies coming in. You know, I myself, you know, have several different examples of just a lifestyle change, um, a hydration change, and what it's done for me and my family. You know, we eat. Most people eat, you know, 3 meals a day. So, you know, if you're eating 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, right? That's 21 meals, right? That's 21 meals in a week, just on average, right? So at the end of the month, you've consumed almost 80 meals, right? So that's a lot of food. And in between there, you know, what are you drinking? You know, what are you consuming? You know, I love going in the grocery stores and looking at people's basket, right? And what am I looking for? I'm looking to see what they're drinking. You know, we have to drink something. We're not conscious of it, but we're made of like what 80-90% water, something like that. You know, don't quote me on the numbers, but we're made of liquid, so we have to consume something in order to keep going, to keep these organs functioning, to keep everything working right. You know, we have to have fluids in us. And at the end of the day, whether you're vegan, whether you carnivore, whether you eating 1 meal a day, fasting, you know, if your liquids consume of a lot of sugar, salt, and caffeine, then that's what's going to get you in the end, right? That's what's going to take you out. It's going to be your hydration system. So your body is no different than a car, right? You want to make sure that you're putting good liquids in. When you're only consuming, um, you know, alcohol. I mean, hey, I used to drink. You know, I used to drink. You know, I'm a DJ, and all DJs will tell you, you know, we play better when we drink, right? Not true, right? So I've been there. But when you're feeling stiff in your body, you know, you're dealing with all these different internal things when you're going to the doctor and you're getting these reports. It's the hydration, y'all. It's what you're drinking, right? It's what you're drinking. I was there. I was drinking 3 Red Bull a day. You know, that was Monday through Saturday and 2 on Sunday, right? So, you know, it's the hydration. We have to really monitor what we're drinking, right? So, just got a text message from one of the Juice Life family, because you're not clients here, you're family. You know, because family members care about other family members. So just remember that you're going to be a part of the Juice Life family. We care about your numbers, you know, because it's those inside numbers that make it different. You can look good on the outside all you want, but if your numbers are out of whack, your A1C is high, you know, your ADL is this, your HDL is that, then it really doesn't matter. So we got a message in today, and you know, we get these in a lot, right? We get it in a lot, and basically this one is saying that, you know, they had their 6-month doctor appointment, and their blood work was really, really good. So, you know, I'm like, okay, that's exciting. You know, tell me more. What's with the blood work? I'm really interested in people's blood work because I don't know what this juice do. You know, I'm just gonna just tell you straight up, I don't know what it do, but I know it works, right? I know when you incorporate this juice and you change your habits, your eating habits, you get more active. Man, this juice works, right? God put the medicine in the food, right? I can't take credit for any of this. I didn't make the pineapples. I couldn't grow a pineapple if I tried, right? He did it. He did it all, y'all. It's already there. We just have to consume more of it. And in order to consume it, we have to drink it because your stomach is too small to eat as much as you need to eat to get the daily recommended doses that you need to get from these fruits and vegetables. You're going to drink way more in your lifetime than you do eat. So I asked, like, so what was your numbers before? And they were like, hey, you know, my A1C was 6.3, average 6.5, right? So I had to look that up because I'm not a doctor. You know, I'm retired military, you know, retired group fitness, you know, coordinator. All I know is fitness. I don't know numbers. So I had to Google, right? I had to Google it, right? So Google says that if your A1C is in the area of 5.4 and 6.3, that you're pre-diabetic. So working with pre-diabetics, that's nice to know. You know, we have testimonies from diabetics being taken off of insulin, you know, based off of the habits that they incorporated. They incorporated sea moss and they incorporated juice, right? So this person's A1C right now is sitting at a 5, right? We've been working with them, I want to say about 3 or 4 months now. So, I mean, that's pretty amazing to go from a 6.4 down to a 5, right? So, you know, tap in with us. You know, I'm really interested to help everybody reach that goal. God promised us 120 years. There's no wasted ink in the Bible. You know, just because you don't believe or you don't understand, don't make it not true, right? There's over 720,000 people in the world right now over the age of 100. So if you want to look for evidence, there's your evidence right there, right? So how do we get there? We get there by having peace in our life, having peace in our eating, right? Having peace in our eating. You want to eat for digestive peace. Everybody's body is different. You know, some people can take more beef than others, but you want to eat for digestive peace. But you also want to change your liquids. You got to change your liquids, y'all. You know, I like my cup of coffee in the morning, but that's it. That's it. It's either some teas or some juice. That's it. You know, you don't want to, you know, bombard your body with all that extra salt and sugar and caffeine. Your body can't handle it. And as you get older, how your body reacts to that is what your body is going to show on the outside. So what you put on the inside of your body, it's going to show up on the outside, right? So it's so important, you know, that everybody know that it's what we're drinking in the end that's going to cause us the most problem. Yeah, I'm not saying stop your alcohol and all that stuff today, but eventually you want to get to a point where you're really loving this body and you're taking care of what's going on inside, and it starts with what you're drinking. So that's all I have for today, man. I appreciate y'all tapping in. You know, the juice works. We're just waiting to hear from you. Ready to work with anybody that has anything going on. If there's anybody that's experienced any good things, you know, from the juice, you know, tap in, share your testimony. I'd love to hear from you. Till then, let's get juicing.